your homeworks, very good. And many of you have asked doubt also. So it was great effort from your side. I was very happy to see that efforts. I hope this continues henceforth. So why did I ask that one is because to understand any accounting concepts, later on we'll be going for accounting entries and all, to understand it, to have a clarity on that, it is very important to have understanding of your basic accounting ABCDs. So for that purpose, I asked you to revise it. I asked you to make a note of it. So if theoretical framework chapter is there, a theoretical framework chapter is there for you. In that, everything will be covered again. But at the same time, it is better to revise whatever is there beforehand. It is better to revise. So we were discussing on depreciation and how I showed you how this conventions and concepts will help for us to determine the depreciation. Why depreciation is to be computed with respect to matching concept, with respect to cost concept, with respect to conservatism concept. Conservatism concept. So based on all these things, our point of discussion was going on. Today I'll be speaking hardly on I'll be speaking more mainly on this theoretical aspects. That is, since many of you are asking for notes and all, so for that purpose, so practical part and theory part, there are two different things here. Theory part will help you if at all any straightaway questions will come for the examination. For that purpose, we may have to make some notes, theoretical notes. For that purpose, I'll be discussing some definitions and some features of definition, depreciation, and how depreciation is to be computed and all. So those areas will be covered for today. But before that, as we said, depreciation is related to the fixed asset part. So fixed assets cost, we are transferring it into profit and loss account with the help of depreciation. So yesterday we learned this. Now let us understand some of the definitions, what our accounting scientists, what we call, they say. So see, one more thing, those who are asking for PDF, there is no concept of PDF for PUC. For your degree, just like your PUC textbooks are available in the market, you need to refer those textbooks. You need to refer those textbooks for the purpose of understanding the topics. Other than that, whatever I discuss in the class, whenever I discuss, please make a note out of it. You can see everything on the screen. Just make a habit of noting them on your accounts notes book, because ours is whenever it is problem, if it is problem based, if at all questions are to be shared, I will share important questions, whatever is required. Other than that, for notes, accounting is accounts is more of practical subject. So for notes, it is better if you take down. Whenever discussion happens in the class, it is better to take down whatever is important. Since you are into degree now, you should be prepared, or you should start the habit of taking, you should start the habit of taking this thing, what running notes. You should start the habit of running notes. So that is one thing you need to take care of. Okay, so I said you again, whatever you feel important, you just take down, if at all you feel that this is important. And standard material for reference material for your accounting is financial accounting 1 is, I'll write it here, financial accounting 1 by Professor Karunakar Nayak. So this is the author which is recommended by Mangalore University. So you can refer this textbook, Financial Accounting 1 by Professor Karunakar Nayak. Other than that, whatever is discussed in the class is more than sufficient for you. So I can understand you people are coming straight away from your PUC. So that habit of taking running notes is not yet built up. But now it is better to have a practice of taking running notes. Running notes means whenever I discuss something, whenever we speak something in the class, whatever you feel important, you just take down. So whatever is visible on the screen, even these points are important. So if you take down these points also, it will be helpful for you to complete your notes. Okay, so going to the definition part, what Mr. Pickles say about depreciation is the permanent and continuous diminution in the quality or value of asset. So you buy a car, over the period of time, if a car is purchased for 7 lakh rupees, over the period of time, the car's value goes on reducing year after year. Car's value goes on reducing year after year. This deterioration, this reduction in the quality, this reduction in the value is called as depreciation. So yesterday there was a question, sir, what do you mean by money measurement concept? Someone asked me, what do you mean by money measurement concept? Money measurement concept is the basic accounting concept. So what does it say? It says only those transactions which can be recorded in terms of money will be recorded in books of accounts. Or we can have another perspective for this. All transactions that happens in the business shall be recorded in monetary terms. Which monetary term? Country's currency. You're going to record it in country's currency. So in India, if you are recording any transactions, you will be recording in rupees. So you may purchase raw materials, you may purchase fixed assets, you may have debtors, you may have cash balance, you may have bank balance, you may have creditors, you may take loan, any of this. You may use some, you may pay salary. All these things will be recorded in terms of money in the books of accounts. This is called as money measurement concept. So depreciation is also a monetary factor. That means the value of the asset which is getting reduced is shown in terms of money with the help of depreciation. So that is what Pickles tried to say. Pickles says depreciation is the permanent and continuous diminution in the quality or value of asset. And next one, R.G. Williams. What does R.G. Williams say? R.G. Williams says gradual deterioration in the value of assets due to use. Gradual deterioration. So both of these definitions are given to you in the textbook. Both of these definitions are better, or both of these definitions holds good. But if you see the depreciation yesterday, like yesterday what we discussed, it is beyond this simple definitions. So definitions, they will tell as per their experience. But as accounts has advanced, we have seen different perspective for this. So for example, you to my home and I keep it in my shed. I park it in my garage. So I did not use the car for next 2 years. I did not use the car for next 2 years. After 2 years, I take the car to the same showroom. I take the same car to the same showroom and sell the car. Will I be able to get 7 lakh rupees itself? Will the car fetch me 7 lakh rupees if I sell it after 2 years? 2 ವರ್ಷದ ನಂತರ ಅದೇ ಕಾರನ್ನ ನಾನು ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಂಗೆ 7 ಲಕ್ಷ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಸಿಗ್ತದಾ? ಎಸ್. I'm waiting for your replies. I purchase a car, I park it in my garage, I don't use it for 2 years. After 2 years, I sell the same car. Will I be able to get so much? I will not be able to get so much. Yes or no? Just give me 1 second. There was some disconnection. No problem. Let it be. 1 second. The screen sharing has stopped. Are you able to see the screen? Okay. Let us continue our discussion. So some technical problem was there, so you could not see it properly. Okay, I'll repeat it. My question was that if I purchase a car today for 7 lakh rupees, I park the car in my garage, and after 2 years, without even using the car, I will resell it. Without even you running the car for any kilometers, I will sell the car. Will I be able to get same 7 lakh rupees Definitely we will not get. This is common sense. This is common sense. Simple example. If even if you take a book in the shop, you go to a shop, you purchase a book. Next day, if you go, next day, I'm not even telling about 2 years. Next day, even if you go and sell it back to him, he will not give the same amount for the book. He will not give the same amount because once it is sold, value goes on reducing. So why did I tell this point is because if you see R.G. Williams' definition, he says gradual deterioration in the value of assets due to use. Gradual deterioration due to use. So that doesn't affect. So this definition doesn't hold good always. To some extent, this definition is correct. To some extent, this definition is correct. But if I take this scenario, if I take this extreme scenario, in this case, this definition may not hold good. But as such, you have to understand depreciation means reduction in the value of asset. Reduction in the value of asset. So is that clear? So this definition part, I said the definitions are their opinions. Definitions are more of meanings. So these meanings are giving you only one thing, that it is saying it is diminution in the value of asset. Now that you know better how actually deterioration happens, it is more easier for you to understand. Let us understand the features. What are the features of definition? What are the features of depreciation? What are the features of this depreciation? So depreciation is related to depreciable fixed assets only. Depreciation is related to depreciable fixed asset only. So what do I mean by depreciable fixed asset? So depreciation cannot be charged on every fixed asset. That is why later on when you study at a higher level, or later on when you come to the practical life, you will understand land will not be depreciated. Land will not be depreciated. Livestock, if it is there, livestock means animals. Animals. If you go for a poultry, or if you go for any other places, animals will be considered as stock, or animals will be considered as assets, fixed assets. Even those will not be considered for depreciation. So depreciation means only those assets. Depreciation is applicable to only those assets which will be depreciable. Depreciation is applicable to only those assets which are depreciable. So this is one more point you need to understand. Next one. What do you mean by depreciation? Now it gives the meaning. Fall in the value. So how fall in the value may happen? Fall in the value may happen due to usage. So a machinery is purchased in the business. That machinery works in the business due to the usage of machinery over the period of time. The value of the machinery goes on reducing. So this is one factor. Passage of time. Even if you don't use, just because the asset time period changes. I gave the example of car. Even if you don't use it, just because time has been lapsed, there will be reduction in the value of asset. There will be reduction in the value of asset. Next one. It is a permanent decrease in the book value. Now, what is book value? You have to understand. See, these terminologies are very important when it comes to understanding. So what is book value? You have to understand. What do you mean by book value? So what is book value? Book value means, as I said yesterday, cost of the machinery. Cost of the machinery. Book value means cost of the machinery. So cost of the machinery is not only the purchase value of the machinery, it includes many other things. Yesterday we have discussed this. It includes many other things. What are the many other things that have to be included? One is purchase cost and all other costs incurred for bringing asset into present location and condition. Present location and condition. So simple, one sentence. You can include transportation cost, you can include installation cost, you can include erection charges, you can include professional cost. Trial run, if it is done, even that cost can be included. Trial run. if you run the machinery for trial purpose, and for that purpose, if you incur any expenses, even that can be included in the cost of machinery. Till the date the asset is put into use, till the date the asset is made to use, whatever the interest paid on the loan on that fixed asset can be added to the cost of machinery or can be added to the cost of asset. So there are a lot of things to be included. So if you learn from accounting standard perspective, there will be many other things that are to be considered for the purpose of adding to the cost of asset. So book value means all these costs that you incur at the time the asset is put into use. At the time asset is put into use. If I give the example of vehicles, ex showroom price, transportation charges maybe, or road taxes, rates and taxes, any other accessories, if you fix for that accessory charges, all those things have to be included for the book value of the asset. This book value will be reduced over the period of time. This is called as depreciation. So depreciation is a permanent value, permanent decrease in the book value. It is not a temporary decrease, it is permanent. Over the year it goes on reducing, so it is a permanent decrease in the book value of asset, and it is also continuous. It is not that this year you depreciate, next year you will not depreciate, after that third year you will depreciate. It is not that way. Every year you are going to depreciate the asset, even whether you have used it or not. Once the asset is recorded in books of accounts, it will be reduced over the period of time continuously and permanently. Over the period of time continuously and permanently. So these are the theoretical features of depreciation. Theoretical features. Practical features we have understood. In yesterday's different examples we have understood. For theory purpose of if at all a question comes for 4 marks, this is the answer you can 4 or 5 marks. This is the answer you can just put down. So why depreciation? Next question comes as to why depreciation? Why you have to charge depreciation? So first one is physical wear and tear, the very common thing we say. So why asset value of the asset goes on reducing? If we ask, every time we say only one thing, that is it is due to reduction, it is due to usage of the asset. It is due to usage of the asset. So over the period of time when you use an asset, the value of the asset goes on reducing. Just like your pen, as you go on using it, over the period of time, the value goes on reducing, or the asset goes on, or the capacity of the asset may go on reducing. A machinery today it may produce 1,000 units per hour. As usage increases, the production capacity reduces because some parts might be spoiled, some part might be worn out. So for all due to all these things, there will be wear and tear, physical wear and tear. Physical wear and tear means physical reduction in the production capacity, physical reduction in the this one capacity. Next one is exhaustion. So this can be applied for machinery. This will come in case of machinery, or maybe even vehicles. So these points can be understood. Next one, exhaustion. So for understanding exhaustion, you should see from a different perspective. Why? Because exhaustion normally applies to this oil fields or coal mines or stone quarries. So how does this function? How do they be considered as asset? Let us say you have around 100 acres of land. You have 100 acres of land which consists of iron ore. Now what happens is, when someone purchases this land, he will be purchasing the iron ore also. Maybe this 100 acre of land be sold for 100 crore rupees. 100 acres of land may be sold for 100 crore rupees. But if you see one thing, after iron ores are extracted from this land, later on, the value of the asset will not be same. The value of this land will not remain same. See, plain land is different, quarry lands are different. Plain lands are different, quarry lands are different. So in case of mining, especially in case of mining, in case of sand quarries, in case of stone quarries, in case of oil wells, in all these cases, what happens is the asset will be exhausting. You will be exploiting the asset. You will be using the asset. So once the assets are extracted, the value goes on reducing. The value goes on reducing. So exhaustion can also be a factor for depreciation. Exhaustion can also be a factor for depreciation. So this is second point. So first point I said physical wear and tear, which you are well aware. Second is comes for, you can just write there, it comes in the case of extraction of minerals. It comes in the case of extraction of minerals, oil, stones, etc. It comes in the case of extraction of minerals, oils, and stones. Next one, obsolescence. Someone was asking, what is the meaning of obsolescence? Obsolescence means outdating, becoming outdated, out of fashion, outdated. So you might have purchased a computer this year. Maybe you might have purchased a computer with the Windows 10 specification. Windows 10 specification computer is being purchased by you for the organization this year. Let us say the useful life, actual useful life of the computer may be for 5 years. You can use the computer for 5 years. You are into a software business, or you are into a software industry. I'm just building the example so that you can have an idea. So because accounts is not only about manufacturing concerns, it may be for service sector also. Accounts covers a lot of things. So you have to broaden your perspective to understand each and everything. So you have purchased a computer with Windows 10 specification, hard disk, computer having hard disk. Now next year, very next year, the useful life of the asset is 5 years. Let us say the asset has run for 2 years. The computer has run for 2 years. After second year, there has been a new technological advancement in the industry. The computer is using Windows 11 and SSD. The computer will be using Windows 11 and SSD specification, which is not compatible with your computer. So now, even though the useful life is more, even though the period is not at over, even though the asset can be used, but for the purpose of industry, to meet the specification of the industry, to improve your working condition, you will upgrade your systems. So even because of this, the old machinery's value goes on reducing. This is called as obsolescence. So what is obsolescence? Outdated. Assets are getting discarded due to outdated technology, change in the working conditions, So this is called as obsolescence. Efflux of time. So what is efflux of time? Passage of time. So as time passes, the value of the assets goes on reducing. I said even if the asset is not used, the value goes on reducing over the period of time. That is what time factor is also to be considered. Because of which depreciation needs to be charged. Accidents. So how this works? Let us say you have a truck. You have a good truck which has been purchased around 2 years back, and it is running very good, and the life of the truck is for 15 years. Let us say the life of the truck is 15 years, and due to unfavorable circumstances, the truck meets with an accident. And you cannot use it for a business purpose. Now automatically the value of the truck reduces. Even this causes depreciation. See, ultimately, what is depreciation? It is loss in the value of asset. Why loss will happen? All these features. Because of these features, loss may happen. So how? Physical wear and tear, exhaustion, obsolescence, efflux of time, accidents, change in economic environment. Business environment may change. You may be using a machine where more human labor is used. Now more automatized machine have come. Now more automatic machines have come. Automatically the old machine's value reduces. So this is due to change in the economic environment. Next is depletion. So what do you mean by depletion? So depletion happens in case of natural resources. So natural resources, maybe some natural resources are in the form of assets for you. Over the period of time, maybe its intensity may go down. intensity may go down, or maybe over the period of time the usage, chemicals, some chemicals may lose its value, so depletion will happen. Even buildings over the period of time the value may be reduced whether you use it or not. Buildings value may reduce, land's value always increases, but buildings value may reduce. So even in case of, yeah, that is correct, iron ore. Okay, so all those points. Next is fall in the market price. So today you purchased an asset. Let us say you purchased a car. You purchased a very new car for 10 lakh rupees. Today you purchased a brand new car for 10 lakh rupees. Next week the value of the car is reduced because the new model is going to release. So market price reduces. Even this case, this causes depreciation. So these are the different causes for depreciation. Okay, so these are the different causes for depreciation. So this is one point. Okay, so continuing further, types, how depreciation, what is this features? Fourth point not done. I had said you about book value. See, one more thing you have to understand. Here some points might be discussed as it is written, some points I may speak in the flow. So don't stick to each and every point. This point is not done, that point is not done. It is not that way. You are now BCom students. So keep in mind, here we speak more of application, more of general application. So at that time you should take care that sticking to the points, ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಗೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಟು ಒನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಅದು ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. After that fourth point I explained numerous things. You might have missed out all the things ಆ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ. So please keep in mind, when I speak something, try to focus on what I speak rather than what is written there. ಆ written ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಗೆ later on you may see the same video and you can just take a notes, or at the same time if you are capable of taking notes immediately, it is better to take the notes immediately. So for that purpose all these things are there. We are not taking a grammar class, we are not taking an English class, we are more of into a accounts class, right? So accounts and accounts is more of practical area. Accounts is more of practical area. So when I give you an idea about all these things, automatically idella artha agtade. So namige I don't blame you. I am not saying you are wrong. I am not saying that you people are doing something wrong, but I am trying to build a different mindset for you. That's it. I am trying to build a different mindset. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಬರುವಾಗ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಡಿಗ್ರೀಸ್ಗೆ ಬರುವಾಗ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಹೈಯರ್ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್ಗೆ ಬರುವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಟ್. ಫಾರ್ ವಾಟ್? ನಮ್ಮ ಸುತ್ತ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯೋ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೇನು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಪಿಕಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಪಿಕಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಒಂದೊಂದು ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ, ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದರ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ automatically you will lose out something important conceptually. So I have been observing this. Some people spam there, ವಾಪಸ್ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾಮ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ಒಂದು ಸತಿ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ತೇನೆ, ನೋಡದಿದ್ರೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಇರಲಿ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮೀ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ದನ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇ 140 ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಚೆ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ there are around 50 ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ. ಸೊ ಅರೌಂಡ್ 200 to 230 ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಒಬ್ಬರಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾನು ಒಂದೇ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಲಾಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅದರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್. So please take care of this. So if at all one point is left out, if you individually don't understand single point, it is better if you try to understand then and there, or if you go with the flow, it is better. Even after that, even after putting efforts, if you are not able to understand, please contact me after the class so that we'll have a discussion on that. Okay, so don't take it otherwise. It is just that to keep the flow intact, I have just been pointing out this point. So reason is because we are at a larger class now. We are now into a larger class. So obviously, see, ನೀವು ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ? ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಬಂದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಐದರ್ ಆ ಮೊಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಿ. ಆ ಮೊಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ you will be waiting for class to end, and after that you'll be coming to the faculty, right? So same thing we can do here. Or 9:45 ಆದ ನಂತರ ನಾನು still online ಇರ್ತೇನೆ. At that time we will discuss. Okay, or 5 to 10 minutes I'll give for the discussion point. At that time we'll discuss all the things which is left out. Okay, so continuing further, causes of depreciation is over. Types of depreciation. What are the different types? See, I'll again repeat all these things. ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮೋರ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಯರಿ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಥಿಯರಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾವು ರಿಯಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಮ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಮೈಟ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್, ಬಟ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಮೋರ್ಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಈ ಡಿಪ್ಲಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಡೈಲಾಪಿಡೇಷನ್ ಈ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವುದು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಮ್ಮಿ. ಬಟ್ ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕವರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್, ನಾವು ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥವನ್ನಾದ್ರೂ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ವಿ ಮೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು ಸಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್. So in what forms depreciation may happen? In what forms depreciation may happen? One is depreciation, as you know, fall in the value of asset, the reduction in the value of asset. So how this happens? For machinery it may happen, for vehicles it may happen, or for computers, electrical fittings, furniture. For all these things depreciation happens. Next is depletion, reduction in the value. So when it comes to natural quarries, when it comes to iron ores, iron mines, when it comes to coal mines, when it comes to stone quarries, when it comes to oil wells, in all this case, instead of depreciation, we use the word depletion. We use the word depletion. So actually, how this depletion works, I can just show you. For example, if you want, I can just show you. Let us say you have a piece of land. You have a piece of land, and the cost, this land consists of coal mines. This land consists of coal. So this is a coal mine. The value of this land, including coal mine, might be 200 crores. This may consist of 100 tons of coal, 100 tons of coal, 100 tons of coal. So what you will do, let us say for first year, for 5 years you have time. Second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year. So every year you will be extracting 20 tons, 20 tons, 20 tons, 20 tons, and 20 tons. Like this, you have been extracting the coal from the land. You have been extracting the coal from the land. Now, this cost of the asset, this is an asset for you, for your business. This is generating future economic benefit. Future economic benefit. That is, you will be extracting the coal and you will be selling it. So this 200 crore is to be distributed over 5 years. How will you distribute? 200 crores divided by 20 tons. For 100 crores, for 100 tons, 200 crores. For 20 tons, how much? So for every year, how much you will be transferring? Every year, how much? Compute and tell me. You don't even need the calculator here, isn't it? Tell me fast. How much? 40 crore, 40 crore, 40 crore, 40 crore. So this is called as depletion. This is called as depletion over the period of time. Over the period of time, the value of the quarry goes on reducing. The value of the quarry goes on reducing. The value of the mine goes on reducing. So this is what is considered as depletion. This is considered as depletion. Is that clear for you? Yeah, for next 5th year, 40 crore. Next 5th year, 40 crore. So this is depletion. This is depletion. So depreciation, see, all are same. It is just that in different context you will be using different words. That's it. In different context you will be using different words, but as such all are same. All are same. Next one. Okay. Next one. Amortization. Now, what is amortization? Amortization is applicable for intangible assets. So what are intangible assets? Intangible assets are those assets which cannot be touched, which cannot be felt, which cannot be seen, but which can be used for economic benefit. Which can be used for economic benefit. I know you know a lot of examples, but I am giving a narrative for that. Try to understand this. Intangible assets are those assets which cannot be felt, which cannot be touched, which cannot be seen, but can be generating future economic benefit. Sir, for example, we have something called as copyright. I'll give a better example, copyright. So you are a writer. You are a writer and you have written a you have written a novel. You have written a novel. Now, who is the owner of the novel? You are the owner of the novel. So what you can do, you have the copyright of the novel. You can sell it to someone. You can sell it to someone, and this will generate you economic benefit. So can I touch the copyright? I cannot touch the copyright. Can I feel the copyright? I cannot feel. Can I see the copyright? No. But can I get money from that? I can get the money from that. I can get the money from that. This is called as intangible asset. Another intangible asset, I'll give you an example. Patents. Patents. So what are patents, sir? What are patents? Let us say I have discovered a device which can cure, which can protect you from corona. I have discovered, or I have invented a device. If you keep the device in your pocket, automatically the corona goes away. Go corona, go. So new device. Now I know the formula of this device. I know the formula of this device. Many companies come to me and ask me, please give us the formula. We will produce it and sell it in the market. We will produce it and sell it in the market. So formula is with whom? With me. Can I see the formula? No. Can I touch the formula? See, writing on the paper is different. But as such formula, can you see it? No. Can you feel it? No. Can you touch it? No. Can you generate money out of it? Yes. You can generate money from it. So this is called as intangible asset. This is called as intangible asset. So this intangible assets also goes on reducing over the period of time. Value of this intangible asset also goes on reducing over the period of time. That is called as amortization. That is called as amortization. So actually amortization means what? You have purchased some copyright. Your company has purchased some copyright. You have to allot it for some years. That copyright will be used for some years. So if you are allotting that cost over the period of time, that is called as amortization. That is called as amortization. Next is dilapidation. Dilapidation. So what is this dilapidation, sir? Now we have to understand a new term for you. New term, dilapidation. So what happens is sometimes buildings are given on lease. Let us say you have constructed a beautiful building and you have given it lease for a hotel. You have given it on lease for a hotel. Now obviously, you know, once it is given to the hotel, to an end, and by the time lease period comes to an end, you have to restore the building and give it to me. Building ಗೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ ಅದನ್ನು ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನನಗೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. So this is called as dilapidation. Dilapidation means damage which has happened to the building. So this cost can also be considered as depreciation. Dilapidation cost, whatever is incurred, even that can be considered for the purpose of depreciation. This will happen only in case of leases. Dilapidation only comes in the case of lease. So these are the different types of depreciation. These are the different types of depreciation, types of reduction in the value. These are different types of reduction in the value. So dilapidation happens in case of leased buildings. So leased building, for a simple example, you have built a building and you have given it to lease for a hotel. On the hotel 30 years lease ಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಿ. So 30 years ಆಗುವಾಗ automatically hotel ನ usage ಇಂದಾಗಿ building ಗೆ damage ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. So the whatever the internal damage that has been happened to the building should be restored by the hotel owner. For hotel owner, that cost is there. No, adannu kuda asset anta consider ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. Over the period, the value will be reducing. So that is called as dilapidation. For time being, you just keep in mind dilapidation comes in the time in case of lease anta ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Don't go and dig deep into it. But for now, try to understand that dilapidation happens in case of leased buildings, in case of leased assets. So these are the different types of reduction in the value. Okay, so it is already 9:40. We have 5 more minutes. Whatever the doubts you have, you can raise it now. Whatever doubts do you have, you can just come up with the doubts. We can have a discussion on it. Depletion happens over the period of time. Depletion happens over the period of time. Wear and tear means physical damage. So ಡಿಪ್ಲೀಷನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗ? ಡಿಪ್ಲೀಷನ್ ಆಗುದು ಯಾವಾಗ? ಒಂದು ಮೈನ್ ಇಂದ ಕೋಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ ಹಾಗೆ, ಒಂದು ಆಯಿಲ್ ವೆಲ್ ಇಂದ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ ಹಾಗೆ value of that land goes on reducing. That is called as depletion. But wear and tear means what? As you use a machine, as you use a vehicle, there will be damages to it which will reduce its value. That is called as wear and tear, physical wear and tear. Dilapidation, as I said, don't worry, dilapidation comes in case of lease. Astu neನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. Dilapidation happens in case of lease ಅಂತ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಸಾಕು. Afflux of time is passage of time. As time goes ahead, I said you purchase a car, you keep it as it is in the garage. After 2 years, if you sell, automatically the value reduces because of time. That is called as afflux of time. Yes. Accidents, obviously, when accident happens, building, your machinery may be spoiled, your vehicles may be spoiled, so it will cost. Depreciation means what? Depreciation means what? Reduction in the cost of asset. So obviously the cost of asset will be reduced due to this accident. Amortization. So in case of intangible assets, what happens is the value of this intangible assets will be used for some period. For goodwill, let us keep aside. Patents may be, copyrights may be. This will be having a period, 5 years, 10 years. This copyright can be used for 10 years. This patent can be used for 5 years. So over the period of time, you are allotting the cost. You are dividing the cost. That is called as amortization. You are dividing the cost of that asset over the period. So that is called as amortization. Fall in market price, I said you, computer models, mobiles, computers. What will happen? As new mobile comes, the old assets value reduces. The old assets market value falls. Okay. Natural resources cannot be depreciated. Change in the economic environment. Manual to automatic. A machine in your factory, there might be a machine which uses manpower. A new machine has come up where more of automation happens. So obviously the old machine's value goes on reducing. The old machine's value goes on reducing. Yes. It is not obsolescence, technological development. Obsolescence means technological development. What is this important question? I don't know any important questions, sir. Sir, we are learning here. We are not studying for the examination purpose. First of all, don't ask any important questions. There is no concept of important questions. It is more of understanding the concepts. Illi question e helilla. I am just speaking about concept. What is this important question area? I don't know. See, that is what I said. Come out of this PUC mindset. Come out. Grow up. You are learning now more of. ನಾಳೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ನಾನು ಈಗ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನಾಳೆ ನೀವು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ, ನೀವು ಕೆಲ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ. ಕೆಲ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಏರಿಯಾ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಕಳೆದು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆಗ್ತದಾ? ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಡೂ? ನೋ. Open your mind. Come out and learn. You are here to learn things. So try to understand things in a better way. Yes. Loss by fire or natural disaster is a type of depreciation. Loss by fire is an accident. Natural disaster is an accident due to which value of the asset may reduce. Value of asset will reduce. See, causes of depreciation. Depreciation as such anta helidre enu? Depreciation means reduction in the value. So ಯಾವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾರಿಗೆ ಫೈರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಆಟೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ನ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಡೌನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ 0 or it may be some scrap value also. ಗುಜರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? So think that way. So causes for depreciation. Depreciation doesn't always mean ನಾನು ಅದು P&L ಅಕೌಂಟಿಗೆ ಆ ಮೈಂಡ್ಸೆಟ್ ಬೇಡ. Depreciation means reduction in the value of asset. Depreciation means reduction in the value of asset. Assets demand decreases, will it be depreciation? Yes, obviously. See, depreciate. I'm not speaking about how to depreciate. I'm speaking about what is depreciation. try to understand depreciation means reduction in the value of asset. The reduction in the value of asset can happen due to various factors. So factors are given to you. So obviously demand reduce agudante, there should be something alternative for it. There should be some alternative for it. So obviously old machines value will reduce. Okay. Yes. Is there anything else? So these videos are available again on YouTube. So go back, try to understand whatever is done in today's class. Try to prepare a notes of your own. If you have any doubts, please do come back. Okay. Thank you. Have a great day. Take care.